Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today. And though you've come through many obstacles.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to ReZero episode 19. Last time was pretty crazy. And a lot of shit happened, a lot was really going on, and apparently I missed something. So apparently there was a line that was subbed weird and could have been a little clearer. Pandora at one point was giving Goose the title of Sloth after he had used whatever was in that box. And she said, in the name of the Witch of Vanity. And apparently, like, what it should say, what it's supposed to say, basically, is more along the lines of, by my authority as the Witch of Vanity. What she was saying there is that she is the Witch of Vanity, or by the actual title, the Witch of Vainglory, and that she was using her authority as the witch to give that title. But the actual subtitles, what it said was like, in the name of. So it's like, with what the subtitles said, it made me think that she was speaking on behalf of the witch. Like, because that's what it sounds like. It's like a knight going around and saying, like, in the name of the king, I'm arresting you, or whatnot. It's like, obviously the knight is not the king, but they're speaking on behalf of the king in order to fulfill their job, their duty. That's what it kind of read as to me. So that's why I was asking, like, who is Pandora? Because I did not grasp, with what the subtitle said, that she's the Witch of Vainglory. It just, the subtitles were wrong, basically. So yeah, that answers one question. She's not the head of the cult, exactly. She is a witch. And a witch that we didn't know about yet, so that's interesting. And possibly one of the strongest ones, too, considering she seems really fucking immortal. And the fact we know Satella killed the other witches. So, it seems like Pandora is pretty fucking strong. Unless Satella killed her, too, in which case Satella is really fucking strong. I don't know what the deal is, but maybe we'll find out. But I'm going to say it here. I could say it during the afterthoughts, but I decided I'm just going to say it here. Today's reaction will be the last ReZero reaction on the channel. And it may come as a surprise because, as I've stated before, I enjoy this series. And by no means is this dropping it because I'm not enjoying it or whatnot. In fact, I don't even fully know how to comprehend it myself, but I don't have a desire to react to it anymore. I noticed this in the past couple weeks, but I wanted to continue to give it a chance. I was thinking maybe I was just not feeling it or something. And I was thinking, like, it can't be burnout, right? Because I just came back to this. I had quite a bit of a break from the series after the first half of season 2. I had just come back to it. It can't be burnout already. And I don't know if, I can't comprehend if that could possibly somehow be it, but I don't think it is. But for some reason, I just do not have any desire to react to this anymore. And again, I can't explain why. And I mean that as a whole, not just this season. I don't have a desire to react to ReZero anymore. I don't know. Maybe it's I don't feel like it fits with the channel. Maybe I feel like it's just it's not maybe I feel like it's something I'd rather watch on my own time, but I don't know. I can't fully articulate what my thoughts are here because I'm not 100%. Um so the fact that I don't know and everything is confusing to me as well. But the point is, yeah, I don't want to react to it anymore, and I always say if I don't want to react to a series for whatever reason, I'm not going to. That's kind of my rule for this channel in a way. That I'm not going to react to a series if I don't want to react to it. Also, why is the camera like that? The camera shouldn't be like that. Sorry about that. That I just noticed that and that was distracting me. But yeah, with that kind of being the rule, I want to stick to that. I want to keep to that and make sure that I stand by my word with this channel. And again, I can't comprehend it, but I didn't want to just drop it out of the blue and not leave you with at least one more reaction, especially after what happened. So we're doing this last reaction today, and I mulled over the idea of marathoning the rest of the season, just getting through it all to force myself to get through it, rather than drop it in the middle of the season. Not even in the middle, near the end of the season. There's 25 episodes. But then I thought, like, I don't want to do that. Like, I was thinking of doing that. Like, I even advertised, like, for this week on the Discord server that it's like, oh, I'm going to be ending a series early, and then I put in, like, brackets, like, marathon? And it's like, that's what I was thinking at first, because I was thinking I was going to marathon the last 7 episodes all at once. But then I was thinking about it today as I'm recording this, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to force myself to go through it like all in one sitting, because that's just going to make me upset. It's just going to make me really upset, and it's probably going to sour me on the series in a lot of ways, and I don't want that to happen. I think it would just be better for me to just drop the series as a reaction series and watch it on my own time, like by my leisure, by my schedule. Hell, maybe I'll watch it with Rough Senpai's reactions. That would be a fun way to watch finish up the season. But for sure, this is the last reaction I'm doing. And like I said, that's not just for this season, that's for good. And it's not something that I'm going to bring back. Because again, I am going to watch this on my own time. I just don't have a desire to react to it anymore. Maybe it's just I don't feel it's good for reactions. Maybe I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is. But whatever the reason, it's just I almost kind of dread getting to it each week. I would rather react to anything else. And I don't like having that feeling about reacting to a series. I want to be excited to get to a series, like I am for One Piece, or like I am for whenever Owl House returns. Hell, I'm even kind of excited to get to more Amphibia reactions, even if I'm not entirely enjoying that at the moment. I'm excited to get to more of those just to see if it does eventually bring the hype that people talk about with it. But otherwise, it's just I just really want to enjoy what I'm reacting to, and if I'm not, for whatever reason, I can't bring myself to keep going. And again, with this series, I don't think it's burnout because of the time, because we haven't been back long enough for it to be burnout. I just don't want to. But I again didn't want to just drop it without giving at least one more week and to explain it there. So we're finishing off today. We're gonna do this last video and then we'll move on. And I'll talk about what's replacing this in the afterthoughts. So we'll get to that then. In the meantime, though, let's just get this started and hope that at least we end off on a good note. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episodes. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. You know what this feels like to me? It feels like, I know this is based on a light novel, so it feels like the writer of the light novel saw how obscenely popular Rem was getting with the fans, and was like, no, you need to support Emilia, and you need to support Subaru and Emilia. They're supposed to be together. You got to ship them. You can't be shipping Subaru with Rem. That's not allowed. So it's like the writer of the light novel took Rem out of the picture and decided to make Emilia the most beautiful, amazing, respectable, likable character possible, to try and throw everybody off of riding Rem's coattails to allow people to actually get behind the ship of Subaru and Emilia. And while this definitely has worked in one way, like legitimately making me like Emilia more than Rem, which is actually a huge surprise to me, but I definitely realized it during this episode, it has actually failed in another. I don't ship Subaru and Emilia. In fact, I actually ship them less now. Emilia is too good for Subaru. He doesn't deserve her. Subaru is he's, I wouldn't say a complete piece of shit, but he's enough of a little shit that he just doesn't deserve someone as beautiful and wonderful and as amazing as Emilia. He doesn't. And you could kind of say, like, that's the point. Like, he doesn't deserve her, but she chooses him anyways. And that's cute and nice and all, but I don't ship it because I don't think that... I think that Emilia deserves to be with someone better than him. So it kind of makes me double down on shipping him with Rem instead. Which is, again, I don't know if this is actually the case, if the light novel writer intended this to, like, as the reason for why Rem was, like, taken out of this part of the story, and why Emilia was given such massive attention, to where it's like she was actually made from just a nice character to an actually god level character in this arc. I don't know if that was the intent of the light novel author, but it very much feels like it. At least from the anime here. That being said, this was one of my favorite episodes of the show. Not only the shock of it all, the horrible stuff that happened in Emilia's past and seeing all of that, just how much of an absolute fucking bitch Pandora is. Like, she is a good villain. Like, she is absolutely horrifically evil. And it's like, oh my god, I hate your fucking guts. Like, I didn't even feel that last episode at all. It was literally this episode that made me despise her so much. But I mean, that's a good thing. She is a bad guy. She's one of the witches, so yeah, I should feel that. But then this episode also just showed Emilia in her current day as so strong and brave and trusting and caring and wonderful and amazing, and there's not enough words to describe how just perfect she is. And even her breaking down after coming out of the trial, the fact that she held on for that long while watching the moment her mother was killed in front of her eyes, seeing that again, a memory that had been wiped from her mind by Pandora, having to see that again, seeing how she was killed by a trick that Pandora did to trick Goose into killing her, which led to his insanity. I would have broken down. I would have just completely lost it there. But instead, she stays strong throughout that entire thing and tells Echidna to her face, it's like, no, I'm going to hold on hope that I can save the rest of these people. It's too late for my mother, but I can save everyone else still frozen in that forest. I'm going to hold on hope, and I'm going to bring them back, and I'm going to apologize profusely and welcome them to the world that Mother Fortuna and Goose deserve to live in together. And that is the pinnacle of loving strength. And it's amazing. It's gorgeous. It's stunningly, amazingly beautiful. And then when she comes out of the trial, it's all completed and she's back just in there alone. She finally lets it out. She finally cries. She bawls at the death of her mother, having to see that again. She held on for so long to not put on any sign of weakness in front of Echidna. She did not want Echidna to have that. She needed to stay strong to accomplish the trial. And it was, in a way, Subaru who helped give her that strength, but it was more along the lines of she had that strength in her all along, and Subaru just helped bring it out. He gave her the courage to do so. Which you have to give him credit for. You do. But I think that me loving this episode so much is also, like, it doesn't dissuade me from my decision to end this here. In fact, I almost feel like this is a good point to end it at. Because as I said in the pre-thoughts, I'm just not wanting to react to this anymore week to week. It's just every week, I always feel like I just don't want to get to this. I have to force myself to get to it, even though I'm actually enjoying what's actually happening, the content itself. And it's like, it's the same thing with this episode. I watched this episode. I very much enjoyed it. Again, probably favorite episode of the series. But I came off of it saying, like, I'm glad that I'm ending this. I'm glad that I'm ending this series on the channel, and that I'm going to watch it on my own time. That was the thought I had coming out of this. And I think maybe part of the reason for that, I think I figured out, is the wait. I think the weight on only doing like one or even maybe two or so episodes a week is what was really throwing me off as well. Um, because it's like I have to wait for the next episodes and everything, and at that point, I'm kind of getting. It's just it's hard to wait for all of that, and in a way that it's taking away my interest in reacting to it. Because then it's like I'm watching it, I'm enjoying it, but then I have to wait another week, and it's like, oh, I don't want to have to watch more because then I'll have to wait again, and it's like I don't like having to wait for that. So getting to watch it on my own time, I'm going to be able to do so on my schedule, which means that I won't have to wait, and it'll give me that freedom to be able to watch it whenever I want. That will feel much more freeing, and it'll allow me to enjoy getting to each episode. And I don't know if that's the only reason that I'm not enjoying getting to it each week, as part of a reaction series, but I think that's at least part of it. So I'm very much still dropping this series as a reaction series. Maybe I'll make a review when I finish the season. Depends on if I feel there's enough I can talk about, enough I really need and want to talk about. But I feel almost vindicated in my decision to end this here. I feel like it's the right move, and I feel like this episode kind of proves why, in a way. I do love this series. It's not the best series I reacted to. Definitely not my favorite. Nowhere near. But I do love it enough to where I really I don't want to have that wait. And getting to it each week, it's just reminding me of that, and just, ugh. But either way. So, now the question comes to what is going to replace this. And if you are on the Discord server, you will probably have already seen the hints, probably already put it together, and all of that jazz. So, no point in hiding it any further. What is replacing ReZero for the Friday slot will be the Ghost and Molly McGee. You might remember I reacted to the first episode as a first impressions reaction and mentioned that it's like this has a lot of potential. It's not perfect. There's some issues with it, like the first half of the episode 1A was very rushed, but it has a lot of potential. And since I did that first impressions reaction, I have probably listened to slash watch the opening theme a few dozen times, too often. Because it's like I check it out, I watch it again, and then I just watch it like a shit ton of times in a row because it's just so damn good. It is such a legitimately good, catchy opening. And it's like I would say it's honestly possibly better than Owl House's opening, which is actually really impressive to me. Definitely better than Amphibia's. But I would say it's probably up there in terms of openings with the likes of even maybe Star Versus. Like in just terms of catchiness and how much it gets you excited for the episode. Because as much as I don't like where Star Versus went in the end, you can't argue that opening theme is fire. It was always fire. And it's just, I feel very much the same way about the Ghost and Molly McGee. Its opening is just that damn good. And so I've watched it many times on repeat, just back to back constantly. And it's like, I am obsessed with this. And it's like, I'm not even obsessed with the actual series as much. It's literally the opening that I'm so obsessed with. But I really want to get back to the series because of that. And so I put this on the schedule to replace ReZero when I eventually finish that. And having now decided to end ReZero early in order to just watch it on my own time and everything, we're getting to it. So I'm very excited to get to that. I think there's 10 episodes out currently, though I might be wrong on that. But I'll probably still be watching just one episode a week and everything. I don't know if there's a specific amount of episodes, at least this season is going to be, but I'm very excited to see what more we got in store with this episode, with this series, because again, so much potential. It could be like just genuinely amazing if they really work it right. It could be on the level of Owl House. And it's funny that I feel more people say that about Amphibia than the Ghost and Molly McGee, but I see the potential for that also a lot more in Ghost and Molly McGee after just the first episode than I've seen in like the first 4 episodes of Amphibia. So that's saying something for me. But seriously, that will be replacing it on the Friday slot going forward. So yeah, look forward to that from next week on. But yeah, I apologize to everyone who did really want to see me react to more of ReZero and all. It's just I'm not having fun reacting to it. I'm not enjoying doing so. It's become a chore for me, and it's become unenjoyable. And I don't want that to happen to any reaction series I do. So, as I've said, if it ever gets to that point, I feel like I kind of have to drop it. I'm not going to put myself through that, and I'm not going to put you guys through that, because it definitely shows in my reactions if I don't want to be reacting to it, even if I am enjoying the episode, like this one. And this one, mind you, might be a little different. Like this one, I might have seemed more excited for afterwards, because, again, it's probably my favorite episode in the series, both seasons. So that's saying a lot. That it beat out the REM speech from, what was that, episode 18 of season 1? So I think it was around the same time. Though I might be completely wrong about the episode. I don't know. But, yeah, like I said, I do apologize. And going forward, maybe I'll mention thoughts on it on the Discord if I ever feel like, again, anything really stands out to me where I want to talk about it. But yeah, I'll probably watch along with Rough Senpai's reactions. Because I know he at least has those on Patreon. I don't know if he has those on the channel. But I pretty much watch him almost exclusively on Patreon at this point anyway. Just because I get to see the full reactions and all. It's a little better than seeing them cut up, especially for One Piece. But either way. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel and for checking out this series as long as I had done it. I do apologize for dropping it again, but you know my reasoning now, so. And I hope that you continue to support the channel as we continue to check out new shows and continue to see what more animation and live action shows and movies and stuff have in store for us going forward. So for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See you all next time.